I'm going to build a massive fridge in our Minecraft world to store all my items, villagers, and farms, all decorated with things you'd actually find in a fridge. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this, I'm kind of homeless right now, so to solve that problem, I'm taking this Samsung Smart Fridge, making it 100 times taller, and turning it into my Minecraft base. And looking at this material list consisting of 180,000 blocks, I think I'll start with a shulker box of sea lanterns, which I guess means I need a guardian farm. And while I build the guardian farm, I'll also let you know that at the end of the video, the famous YouTubers Dactus and Zenith will be logging on to CookieCraft and reacting to the fridge. So stick around if you want to see them react to the biggest Minecraft fridge they've ever seen.
That's a huge fridge, by the way.
This is a big fridge.
And now that we have a guardian farm, we just need to keep farming guardians until we have enough prismarine for all the sea lanterns we need. So now that we have this, we'll move on to all the blocks we need in smaller amounts, such as a chest, smooth stone, and polished basalt. I'm not sure why I wasn't recording, but I went to get some glow lichen, and essentially I just died from some mobs, so here is attempt 2, I guess. And after gathering some more resources, I basically need to build a concrete farm to get any further, so let's head off to a stronghold. And now let's mine out the room, break the end portal frames, and get to building. And the way this concrete factory works is that the overworld side duplicates concrete powder and sends it through the end portal, and then in the end the concrete powder gets converted into concrete and then blown up so it can be collected as items. Okay, now let's try out this concrete machine. And I'm a bit scared here, because if I built anything wrong, this could literally blow itself up. So let's see what happens. Looks like something is broken, but it's not blowing itself up, which is good, I guess. Oh no. Okay, I think I've repaired the damages, and apparently some of these dispensers needed to have water buckets inside of them. Yep, it seems like it's all working. After a lot of AFK and mostly just loading and unloading shulker boxes, I should have all the concrete that I need in the storage behind me. Now, the last thing I need basically is about 27,000 glass. Which in itself isn't that much of a problem because we have this thing. Because, you know, it gives me unlimited sand. But I also need to smelt the sand and get dyes for the glass, which is a little bit more of a problem. As for furnace fuel, Humris gave me permission to use his blaze farm, but I am gonna need to build farms for the dyes. So for the double chest of white dye I need, I think you can see where this is going. I'll just show you a few seconds of that and then we'll move on to the black dye, which is a bit more challenging since I need to transport these allays, but I mean I don't see how this is gonna go wrong. Okay, well surprisingly I got these allays into the farm without really having any issues, so that's nice. And the farm basically works by me AFKing up here, the guardians killing squids, and then the allays putting the ink sacs into the hoppers down there. So now that I have all the things on screen, I need to smelt the sand and color the glass. And now I'm pretty sure we have all the materials we need to start building this fridge. Dang it, I forgot some carpet. Okay, now let's build this refrigerator. And now, after spending more than a real-life month building a fridge out of concrete, I don't want to place another block of concrete ever again. I'm sorry, I'm not sure why I thought that would be funny. Now, something I haven't mentioned yet is that this thing actually consists of a fridge on the right side and a freezer on the left side. But since they're connected to each other, I'm mostly just going to refer to the entire thing as the fridge. But now that we've built the fridge itself, there's a lot of stuff we need to put inside of it. Starting with villagers. And very conveniently, I forgot to light up in the ice maker part in the freezer, and a zombie villager happened to spawn, which makes our job much easier. Because now we just need to get one more zombie villager in here, which we'll do by letting one spawn on the roof of the fridge and hoping it walks into a boat for us. No way, there's already a zombie villager. No, the guy despawned. Okay, I'm getting 2 spider jockeys, but I'm not getting that guy over there to walk into a boat. Oh, and he despawned too now, great. Okay, I need to save that guy before he dies. No, he's gonna die. There's a zombie villager in a boat. And now we have this guy, and I think if we just drop him down there and fill in this hole, we're good. After that, I brought the original zombie villager over to the new one, and then I somehow managed to do this. Oopsie. Now let's cure those 2, and now that they're cured, let's build a villager breeder. So basically I'm just enslaving these 2 and forcing them to reproduce for all of eternity. Not sure why Mojang made that possible. Anyway, since these villagers are farming carrots, I decorated the villager breeder with some of those. And I designed these as I was building them, which was pretty enjoyable, and I also managed to use some blocks that I haven't really ever used before. Now my plan is basically to add some kind of zombifying and curing station over here, and then I basically want to fill in this entire floor with a villager trading hall, but I'm struggling a bit with build inspiration, so for now I instead want to shift the focus over to this part in the freezer that's supposed to be like the ice maker, and I can't really make it create ice since we're not in a cold biome, so instead I'll make it create snow by pushing this snow golem into the thing. Oh, okay, apparently it doesn't work with hoppers. But now that we've gotten rid of the hoppers, we have a source of infinite snow. So now I need to decorate this place, and I think it makes sense to do that with some kind of ice theme, considering this is supposed to be the ice maker in the real fridge. So let's get some ice. Now I think I'll get some light blue glass, and together with some white glass and some sea lanterns, I hope all this should be good enough to build something ice themed in here. And I can tell you already, I did not have enough glass, so I got some sand and then went and smelted it up like any normal person would do. I'm kidding, of course. I mined out a room and built a super smelter in it, fueled by the bamboo farm that Walnutty built a while back. And after I was done with the super smelter, I could smelt up some sand into glass, so I could continue building the ice thing. Honestly, I'd say this turned out pretty good, and after this, Walnutty logged on, so I figured I could show him what the fridge is looking like so far, just as a little preview for the reactions we might get later from Dactus and Zenith.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
Do you see down here where I am? So basically...
Barely. You're so small! In the scale of this thing.
Yeah, so the right side is like the fridge, and then the left side is the freezer, and then down here is an elevator upwards.
That's crazy. Oh, and if you look down, it's crazy. And how do you get out?
There are 2 ways out. First one is just go down here. Over here is the cooler
I'm
way
already
out.
lost.
You just fly out
Okay.
through the ice dispenser. That
Whoa.
doesn't dispense ice.
Whoa! And can I look at the backside? Yeah, that's a flat wall. That's how real life fridges are too.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can build some cables here. That would be cool.
But I don't want to spend my time on that. I feel like the interior is enough time waste as it is.
Yeah, this is a time waste, Tater Free. I don't know why you're doing this.
Something this time waste of a mega base is lacking though is a beacon. So let's mark out the center here. And now that I've figured out where the middle is, let's mine out a hole here and then put some beacons at the bottom. That's kind of an issue though, because I don't have any beacons. So I guess I'll just repair my elytra and then go and get some wither skulls. I'm just finding more and more ways to waste my time. And now with 18 wither skulls, let's actually fight some withers. So I have the beacons now, but I also need the blocks to power them, and I want it to be emerald blocks because I like the way they look. And to get those I need to use my raid farm, but the Tricky Trials update made it so I need to build an ominous bottle farm in order to be able to use my raid farm.
So let's craft up the blocks we need and get building.
So after about an hour of AFKing, this is how much the farm has given us. So it's a bit less than a stack of every type of ominous bottle.
And with those ominous bottles, we can farm some raids for emeralds, craft those into blocks, place them inside the fridge, and place the beacons on top.
So we now have all the beacon effects, which is nice, but whilst building the beacon I noticed that all of this torch spam is not looking especially great. And to sort that out I will head over to the Guardian farm, grab some prismarine and craft some sea lanterns to use as lighting instead. Other than fixing the lighting in both the freezer and the fridge, another thing I want to fix is this open hole where the beacon comes out, which is pretty straightforward to do with just some grey glass. Now something every Minecraft base needs is a place to store your items, because dumping everything in shulker boxes inside my ender chest just isn't going to cut it anymore. So I asked the Storage Tech Discord server to help me find a good storage system that fits on a shelf in the fridge, and they immediately helped me find one that perfectly fits my needs. And most of the stuff on the material list is also pretty easy to get, but one thing I don't have enough of is pumpkins. So before I build the storage system, I'm also building a pumpkin farm. Now if I'm building a pumpkin farm inside a fridge, the reasonable thing to do would be to build it inside a pumpkin. And before anyone says that pumpkins don't belong in the fridge, yes they do, if they've been cut open.
But now that we have access to pumpkins for jack-o'-lanterns, we're basically ready to start building the storage system.
Now as for how the storage system works, if I want certain items to go in a certain chest, I just have to put those items in the matching configuration chest at the back of the storage system, and then any items of that type that go in the input chest will end up in the chest they're supposed to. Now for decorating the storage system, we're going to need something big enough to hide the whole thing from view, and I was trying to think of fridge items that are big enough, but the only thing I could come up with was a cabbage. So to decorate the storage system, we're building a cabbage. The cabbage I've designed requires melons though, so we're building a melon farm too. But for both the cabbage and the melon farm, I need a few stacks of concrete, and the concrete factory I built earlier in the video kind of blew itself up. And ENXO4 recently released a newer and simpler concrete factory, so I'm just going to replace it with that one. And now that we can easily get concrete again, we have access to all the items we need to build the melon farm, which similarly to the pumpkin farm will be inside half a watermelon, because how else would I decorate a melon farm? And after about an hour of AFKing, I'm pretty sure we have enough melons to build this cabbage around the storage system. And while I do that, I'll also tell you about this video's sponsor, Arth Hosting, which we use to run the CookieCraft server, where you can currently see me building a cabbage. Arth Hosting is a highly affordable Minecraft server host with a custom panel that makes it easy to install data packs and mods. For just $1 per gig of RAM per month, you can get your own server hosted in the US or Europe by clicking the link in the description. And with that out of the way, I'd say I'm pretty happy with this cabbage. And to go in and out with the cabbage to access the storage system, there's these entrances hidden between the leaves. But now I need to do what I was lacking build inspiration for earlier, which is to build something to put the villagers in. So what I've come up with is basically an egg carton where each egg is supposed to house one villager, and then you can click a button to open up the egg to actually access and trade with the villager, and then you can just click the button again to close the egg. But my egg carton has two critical flaws, with the first one being that there isn't any lighting blocks, meaning that mobs can just freely spawn all over the egg carton, and the second flaw is that there's no way to know which villager is inside which egg without actually opening them up. But I have come up with a pretty clever solution to both of these problems. If I mine away this block, replace
replace it with a redstone lamp, then place an item frame on that and make it invisible using a mod we have on the server, then place a pressure plate in the same spot. The pressure plate presses down on the redstone lamp, lighting up this area, and if I rename an item and put it in the invisible item frame, that means we can label which villager is inside of this egg. So if we were to put a villager in here that sells mending, we could label this as mending. But now that I've added 15 more disguised redstone lamps, in order to actually label the eggs, we need to have villagers inside of them. So that just means I have the simple task of moving some villagers from here to here. No, don't you. No! Okay, so 2 librarians are just hanging out in the villager breeder, and another librarian is gone? No! Huh? What happened to that guy? Don't tell me he... No! Well, that guy's doomed. I'm never getting him out of there. No. Not you as well. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. And then just go over to the workstation. Please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wait, there were only 10 eggs in the egg carton. Yeah, I built another one so I could fit enough librarians to sell me all the enchanted books I'd need to replace everything if I died and lost all my gear. But if I died, I'd also need a place to respawn, which means I need a bed. But just placing one randomly on a shelf feels out of place. So my solution for that is to build a plate, put some kind of strawberry cake on top of it, and then place a bed here that functions both as a place to set my spawn and as a little piece of strawberry. But now that the fridge has basically everything it needs to function as a Minecraft base, we're nearly ready to show it to Dactus and Zenith. But before we do that, there's a few more things I want to build, just to impress them a little bit more. Starting off with a classic fridge item, which is a milk carton on a shelf in the fridge door. And moving on to the freezer, I'll build a tub of ice cream, because what is the point of having a freezer if you're not going to put ice cream inside of it? For some people, the answer might be to preserve a loaf of bread, which is what I'm building next on the shelf below, followed by a salmon fillet on the shelf below that. And while designing the salmon, I was kind of surprised by how few salmon colored blocks there are in Minecraft. But lastly, after overcoming that struggle, we'll move back to the fridge and build a package of chocolate chip cookies, because this is CookieCraft after all. And now the last thing we have to do before showing Zenith and Dactus this fridge is to put something on the screen. And some Samsung Smart fridges have this feature that lets you see what's inside the fridge just by looking at the screen. So for the final time lapse in this video, let's add this useless feature to this slightly less useless Minecraft refrigerator. And with the last block of this massive fridge finally placed down, let's see what Dactus and Zenith think of it.
Oh wow, look at this. Oh my god. This a refrigerator?
Indeed, it is. The right side is the fridge and on the left side is the freezer.
Yo, that's sick. Oh dude, I love these icons. These are really well done.
Oh my god. Look at the details on that. Wow. That is so cool.
This is based on a real freezer, and this is basically the compartment that has like an ice maker for the ice dispenser.
Ah, so this is where all the ice spawns. I like this, the floating glass panes. The ambiance. This looks like... Let's go with oatmeal.
Unfortunately not. It's a tub of ice cream.
Oh, that makes sense, because we're in the freezer, aren't we? Was that like cookies and cream?
Yep, precisely that.
There we go, yeah, see, got that.
So that's a single potato, right?
It looks like a potato, but I don't think you'd put a potato in a freezer. So I'm gonna go with a loaf of bread.
I'm happy that you're understanding what it is I'm building here.
It looks silly. But yeah, it makes sense that it's bread. Is that like fish?
This looks like salmon.
It is.
Very cool. Nice. I love a good salmon.
Nice. That's a lot of food. If I were to eat all of this on this scale, goddamn. Oh my god. We have even more food.
Okay, this looks like some sort of lettuce or cabbage type.
That's true, it's a cabbage.
I love all the blocks. Texture. Ooh, is there an inside? Oh, a little sorting system. Nothing like sorting your items inside of a cabbage.
That is a very functional cabbage.
Very cool.
Okay, we got like milk.
Ooh, we got what? Carton of milk here?
That's a carton of milk indeed.
Nice. And the shelf on the fridge door. Love that. We got a some sort of cake here. Nice.
Oh, we finally get cake. Let's go. That's a good looking cake. We can also sleep in it.
That looks like a meatball or a cookie. Yeah, cookies.
It's cookies. Let's go. It's very convenient that it's labeled.
Yeah, I see those chocolate chips on there. Nice. Cake and cookies, great combo. We got carrots. Wonderful. What's in?
What is that?
This is the villager breeder with the zombification system.
Yeah.
Okay. Inside of the carrots.
Those look like eggs.
Oh, that's eggs.
Yep. And if you click
Nice.
the buttons, each egg has a villager inside.
Nice.
And they sell eggs.
They sell enchanted books.
Yeah, so do my eggs in my fridge.
Oh yeah, 2 cartons of eggs. Nice. That's very creative. I love that.
All right, we have a pumpkin and we have a watermelon.
I love pumpkins. Is there a pumpkin farm in there?
There is!
Oh. Look at that.
That's very cool. If you ever need like a million pumpkins, this got you covered.
Yeah, I didn't even see that barrel there. That's really nice. Blends right in. We've got, let me guess, a melon.
So we have a watermelon with melons. Nice.
Ooh, does this have a melon farm inside of it? Oh, here we are. Nice. I was looking around the base of it for the barrel. Nice. Well, now I got to check out the bottom of it. Ah, there we go. Little watermelon inside. Seeds too. Oh, and the pumpkin's got it inside too. The little, yeah. That's awesome.
That's a huge fridge, by the way. That is massive.
You've got all the icons in there for what's in there. That's great. This is a big fridge. This must have taken a while to build, huh? Nothing like just walking around your Minecraft world and seeing a fridge. This has got to be at least a 9 out of 10 on the fridge scale. The reason it's not a 10 out of 10? Because there was no cactus in the fridge. Got a dock you point there, unfortunately. But everything else was spectacular about this fridge.
I'll rate this fridge a solid 9.5 out of 10 on the fridge scale. I would love to have this fridge.